5 rounds just standing, or fight on the floor for 5 rounds. So we're gonna try and mix it up everything.
Side, in, out. More speed.
In order to prepare for 5 rounds against his notoriously unpredictable opponent, Werdum is joined in camp by former UFC light heavyweight champion and current top contender to the UFC middleweight belt, Lyoto the Dragon Machida. One of the most unorthodox and creative strikers in the history of mixed martial arts, Machida's purpose is to become his friend and compatriot's secret weapon.
Puta, e pega, né?
Mas rapaz, você pega. I know I can't help Werdum with my power, my size, because Travis Brown is bigger than me, but I can help with my techniques.
Just one guy, let's go. Chew 115. Count by yourself. Ready up, go!
This the game that shows us. Pioneers started on my
Travis Brown is an amazing guy. He's very good. I'm very confident with my training. My condition is very good too. April 19th, I just won the show for the world. I'm waiting for the title shot.
Deep in the heart of Florida, the octagon will soon rise. It is here where each fighter will seek a career-defining statement.
Nice.
Misha is going to push forward. She's going to give everything she has. I'm going to finish. I'm going to get the tap at whatever cost. The only person that can beat me is me.
I know she's coming for me. I know she's hungry. I know she wants that win. You know, I have to get a clean finish, some kind of knockout or a submission. I have to put her away.
Sinceramente, eu acho que eu sou mais rápido que ele, tenho mais velocidade. Fisicamente, eu sou mais forte do que ele. Se eu fechar meus olhos aqui, eu sempre vejo eu comemorando, dando a vitória.
I don't back down. I'm coming hard. I'm coming to win. Not only am I gonna win, I'm gonna get a bonus.
Travis Brown, he never showed 3 or 4 rounds. Nobody put him in the ground. I see the big fight, submission or knockout. I see referee lift my arm, you win.
For most of my fights, I don't need judges. I'm not going down. He's not going to be the first guy to do it. I'm going to stand up and just going to pick him apart.
On April 19th, the octagon door will close and only actions will matter as Fox UFC Saturday arrives.
into the jungle.
Not everybody makes the choice to go out there and put themselves on the line in front of millions of people.
There's almost an animal that walks into the cage.
Toda vez que eu subo no cage, eu vou pronto para uma guerra.
Failure isn't failure unless you just stop with that.
This is what I love. I'm gonna fight until I can't fight anymore.
The goal is the belt. Everybody wants the belt.
Se eu fechar meus olhos aqui, eu sempre vejo eu comemorando, dando a vitória.
When it comes time to fight, give me everything you got because I'm coming to win.
I know she's coming for me. I know she's hungry. I have to put her away.
I'm going to finish. I'm going to get the tap at whatever cost. The only person that can beat me is me.
The unknown is what's scary. That's my style. You don't know what I'm gonna hit you with.
I just won the show. I'm waiting for the title shot.
Follow me into the jungle. Into the jungle.
6 awe-inspiring fighters at elite training camps around the United States are nearly ready for colossal confrontations April 19th in Orlando at Fox UFC Saturday. The blockbuster main event will be a 5-round heavyweight title eliminator between two of the baddest men on the planet. As top contender Fabricio Verdum, who has used rock-solid hands and extraordinary Brazilian jiu-jitsu to stop many of the world's greatest heavyweights cold, takes on 6'7" breakout star Travis Brown, who in 2013 landed spectacular knockouts on 3 different occasions, and now looks to make Verdum his next victim to earn a shot at UFC gold.
There's a new breed of fighters right here.
The thrilling co-main event features a crucial matchup between 2 of the top female mixed martial artists in the world, as heavy-handed and hard-nosed former U.S. Marine Liz Carmouche, who after becoming the first female fighter to ever enter the octagon, nearly dethroned UFC superstar Ronda Rousey, squares off against Rousey nemesis Miesha Tate, the tough, talented, and versatile former Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight champion. And in a thrilling bout between 2 of the lightweight division's most dangerous contenders, world-class kickboxer Donald Cowboy Cerrone, one of the sport's most spectacular finishers,
Donald Cerrone knocks out Melvin Guillard,
takes on Brazilian powerhouse Edson Barboza, who has unleashed his unparalleled arsenal of Muay Thai kicks to dismantle opponent after opponent.
maybe the most spectacular knockout in UFC history.
A longtime NASCAR fan, Donald Cowboy Cerrone touches down in Florida to reunite with his friend, the 2007 champion of the Daytona 500, Kevin Harvick.
You guys tear this down to nothing every time, huh? I tear us apart, putting them back. Yeah, that's what we. You got a handful of bolts when you get done? Yeah. Oh, handful, yeah. Yeah, wires missing, yeah, yeah.
Cerrone has long been one of the most feared lightweights in the world, wielding elite kickboxing and extraordinary finishing instincts to dominate opponents. Cerrone's latest first-round knockout in January has him believing that 2014 will be the year he finally earns a shot at UFC gold. But even that pursuit can't slow down Cowboy's high-octane lifestyle.
On behalf of Dana White and the UFC, we'd like to present you with the Daytona.
Hey, that thing's heavy.
Oh yeah, very heavy. Kevin Harvick, my management team, races for NASCAR. So I went down there to support him.
Well, you know, the expectations are for you to have one of these now.
Very true.
That's right?
I didn't even want to touch it, so I didn't really like touching the belt because I think you need to earn that right before you start playing with it. But giving it to him was kind of cool.
I almost feel bad standing here.
Hanging it in front of my nose?
Yeah. Well, maybe that's like a good carrot for you.
It is a good carrot.
Yeah. Hey, Cowboy, you get a raise if you win one of these.
I didn't put it on, so that'll be later this year.
First guy I want to bring up is our UFC friend Donald Cerrone. Tell us about your experience so far at Speedweeks.
It's my kind of people, you know. I love it.
We're going to bring Mr. Jake Owen up.
What's up? I've become good friends with Jake through Kevin. He performed at the Budweiser tent the night before the races, and it was cool. We were there in front row. It's cool to see people that are in the same group around you growing. When you're live right there, sitting in the pit box, man, I'm feet away from coming in, changing tires, and filling the gas. I mean, it's just a whole nother game.
Coming back around here to 1 to go. You're going to go green at 20.
Throws the green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's just go racing.
Just the roars, you hear those cars coming around, and they come passing past that finish line, you can just feel the horsepower, man. It's so cool. I mean, they're wide open, running almost 200 miles an hour. The margin of error is very small.
Just 200 miles to the south, one of the most formidable Muay Thai fighters to ever emerge out of Brazil resumes a title run 5 years in the making.
Yep.
tive que vir para os Estados Unidos para continuar vivendo esse sonho de sobreviver do que eu amava. Eu sei como é que é difícil no Brasil sobreviver do esporte. Então, eu vim para cá para poder dar aula no início de Muay Thai. Com 3 meses aqui, eu já fiz minha primeira luta de MMA. Eu não me imaginava um dia lutando no UFC.
With his precision punches
There's a shot.
and devastating kicks,
Barboza finishes a fight via leg kicks once again.
Edson Barboza soon made an impact upon entering the UFC in 2010, earning a fearsome reputation by winning tough contests and landing one of the most unforgettable knockouts the Octagon has ever seen.
Oh my God! Wow!
Now just 28 years old and still on the rise, the Rio de Janeiro native is quick to credit the driving force behind his success.
Eu conheci ela na academia, eu treinava.
I was always looking at him like, I know that you can become a fighter, I know that you're good, so I'm gonna support you as much as I can.
Muitas vezes eu não tinha dinheiro nem para ir para academia, ela que me dava esse dinheiro para eu poder ir treinar. Ela que me deixou um foco só no treinamento, ela que cuida de todas as coisas fora daqui, tipo assim, a parte da minha alimentação, a parte de entrevistas, as coisas, ela cuida de tudo. Então, ela me deixou com foco realmente só no treinamento. Então, sem dúvida nenhuma, é com ela que eu me tornei o melhor lutador. The best. For sure. E desde o início, cara, ela foi sempre uma das pessoas que mais me ajudaram. Eu tenho certeza que se eu não tivesse com ela, nada disso teria acontecido na minha vida. Eu não estaria aqui. Eu tinha esse sonho de poder ter uma academia, um lugar onde eu sei que posso ter um sustento independente da luta. Então a gente abrimos essa academia aqui, já fez 1 ano, a Valor, MMA. Então é um sonho que eu estou realizando aqui. Hands here, protect your face all the time. Jab, low kick. Bang, bang, 1, 2. That's it, bang.
We always wanted to have a gym because we could spend time training together. It's fun, you know, I like when he's training with me.
Ela tem boa técnica. Acho que ela acho muito legal, ela poderia testar essa técnica dela numa luta.
I feel like grateful to have him as a coach and as a husband.
Os brasileiros gostam muito de paixão pela luta porque nosso povo, eles têm uma coisa que eles falam da gente, que a gente é brasileiro, a gente não desiste nunca. De um povo guerreiro que realmente não desiste nunca, que sempre vai atrás de seus objetivos, por mais difícil que seja.
The Jersey Shore is known for many things. And over the past decade, that list has come to include elite-level MMA training. As Brazilian-born Edson Barboza moves his training camp to a colder climate in order to train with this man. New Jersey's greatest fighter stands just 5'6" tall, but former UFC lightweight champion Frankie Edgar stands unquestioned as one of the most determined and toughest fighters to ever grace the octagon. And on this day, the 2 UFC stars are joined by the U.S. Air Force wrestling team, who have flown in all the way from Colorado Springs.
We're going to have a great day today, gentlemen. We are going to have a great day today.
Their duty is to wrestle for the Air Force. To come in here with Edson and Frankie and the rest of the guys, they look forward to coming here now. And our guys look forward to banging with the United States Air Force, you know what I mean?
Get up, don't let them bring, make them want to be somewhere else. Last year we came here a couple times, great symbiotic relationship. They love it because they get to beat on somebody else. Our guys love it for the same reason. Step to it, Frank, step to it, there you go.
They're from the Air Force, they're in shape, they're disciplined, and it's good to have our guys around people like that.
Put that pressure on the back, now watch my left arm. He's going. Anywhere I want, I'm taking his bill money, I'm getting his mom's number later. In the sport of wrestling, you train the same way you wrestle. I find a little bit of a lock. I may not even have a lock. I may grab here, I may grab his head. It does not matter. Now what I'm gonna do is snatch that son of a right there. How fast was it that the lights go out? Yeah.
From Brazil, in Brazil I have a good wrestling, you know? And I started wrestling right here in America. Training with the best guys in the world. It's a good experience for me, and I learn every day.
That's right, fight with them a little bit. There you go, there you go. Great workout today, gentlemen. Thank you. From the U.S.
The camaraderie between the New Jersey natives and the Brazilian expatriate extends beyond the gym.
Da primeira vez que eu vim pra cá, eu vim ajudar o Frankie na segunda luta dele com Ben Henderson. E tinha uma coisa diferente aqui, das pessoas, dos treinadores. As pessoas realmente se importam comigo, não se importam com o Edson, lutador do UFC.
These guys talk too much, man. And too fast. I sit in the car and this guy's savage.
Talk like you're from New Jersey.
Talk like you're from I can, bro. Sometimes I do like you get the I'm like, you don't know.
Esses caras são minha família hoje em dia. Eles são minhas famílias, são meus irmãos. E eu sei que é o melhor lugar. Eu acho que não poderia estar em um lugar melhor do que aqui em New Jersey. Eu treino mais do que todo mundo, cara. É isso que eu boto na minha cabeça. Eu puxo sempre ao limite. Isso me dá uma confiança. Eu sei que se eu for lá e dar o meu melhor, eu vou ganhar essa luta. Eu tenho certeza.
He believes that he's the best in the world. Good. So when you believe you're the best in the world and you're getting better in every aspect of MMA, there's really nothing to worry about but go out and have fun, have a good time.
Vai metendo o ground and pound aí logo. Isso. E volta e desce de novo, para não dar zebra.
Nice.
E eu tenho certeza, se ele me der uma brecha também, eu vou acabar com essa luta.
I train with him every day and I see what he's capable of. His striking is probably one of the best in the UFC. His leg kicks are just brutal to deal with. You know, he has solid jiu-jitsu too.
Vai que ele vai cair pra baixo. Isso, pra cima, Júnior.
He's right there at the top, you know, he's a special fighter.
Nice.
Toda vez que eu subo no cage, eu vou pronto pra uma guerra. Vamos pra lá e tomara que a gente possa só trocar bastante pancada. Isso que o público gosta e isso que eu gosto. Então, espero que essa luta se mantenha em pé e a gente se bata bastante.
Even with his formidable opponent
on April 19th, get ready for the most exciting network card in UFC history.
Here we go!
Fabricio Verdun.
Wow!
Travis Brown.
Right on the button!
Plus, Tate meets Carmouche.
Misha Tate is as tough as they come.
And Cerrone versus Barboza.
This has got fight of the night written all over it.
Fox UFC Saturday. Prelims start at 5 on Fox Sports 1. Then switch to Fox for the main card at 8.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out today. We appreciate it. I would like to thank Shaquille O'Neal for letting us use his house for this press conference. He's been a good friend to the UFC for a long time. He's been a good friend of me, and we really appreciate it. One other thing I gotta point out: Metro PCS, new UFC fan app, is available today. So any fans that want to go check it out, go onto the App Store and please check it out. First time ever in Orlando. We're very excited to be here. The response has been phenomenal. The gate for this card is the biggest Fox gate we've ever done. Florida has not been too kind to us in the past, but boy did that change in Orlando. Very happy about it. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with this card. This card is sick. It is stacked from top to bottom. And for those of you that don't know, it is live and free on Fox on Saturday night. Who has the first question? Raise your hand and somebody will bring you a microphone. This guy's raising his hand right here. First I thought you were taking pictures, but yeah, go ahead, give him a mic.
Dana, you said obviously Florida hasn't treated you well in the past. What was it about Orlando that enticed you to pick this over Tampa and South Florida?
I'm going to be honest with you. We had a big debate in the office. I was not on board. I told you guys last time when I was here in Florida, it's a place where we do incredible ratings. We do great pay-per-view buys here, but traditionally don't sell tickets. And everybody, all the executives that were in the room said, we think it's the right thing. We think Orlando is the right market. We think it's the market in Florida that we've been missing. They were right. I was wrong.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
Shannon Owens, Orlando Sentinel. What would it take for you to consider this city a success enough to want to come back?
What was the question?
What would be considered, I don't know if you're going just by ticket number or whatever, but what would it take for you to basically want to come back and consider?
Well, it's already done. It's already a success. It's already, when you have a fight that's live and free on not only television, but on a massive network like Fox, and you do the kind of gate that we did here, you start looking and saying, imagine if we brought a pay-per-view here. Imagine, Orlando was a home run. We'll definitely be back to Orlando.
Also, another quick question. You mentioned that you and Shaq were really good friends. Is he really serious about fighting in the MMA one day? Or
He is serious, he's serious. He wants to fight Jose Canseco. It's not going to happen, though. No way. He's serious, though. He's been doing jiu-jitsu for a very long time, and from what I hear, he's pretty good at it. But
thank you.
Dana, Walt Logan, ESPN Orlando. You said you want to come back to Orlando. Is there any plans in the works for kind of how soon and whether it's going to be a pay-per-view or a Fox Sports 1 or a Fox?
We haven't even left yet.
Hey,
the fight's on Saturday.
We're excited to have you
here.
here.
We're planning the next fight. No, yeah. I mean, we got this card on Saturday, and then we'll go from there. But we didn't even leave yet.
Hey, Dana, how are you?
Good.
Patrick with the Cage Magazine, Hollywood, Florida. So I think you know where we're going with this question. With the success of the Orlando card, the ticket sales going the way they are, what are the future plans, if any, to come further south to South Florida and have an event down there, seeing that we've got so many South Floridian fighters on the card now?
Well, I'd have to say if we come back to Florida, it's going to be Orlando again. Sorry, buddy. Kind of like in Orlando right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For Cowboy, please. Cowboy, I know you don't typically like to study your opponent and kind of go into it blind, but this is a guy that will probably stand and bang. This might be a fight where you'd want to use your ground game. You utilize your wrestling. Do you break down fights that way? Is your passion for scrapping too much that you don't want to look at it that way?
I think it's my no back down attitude that wants me to stand and fight. And I think, the fans, and we're here to put on a show in Orlando, so standing and fighting is what I plan on doing.
Fantastic. And for Misha, please, obviously the ultimate goal for any fighter is to be a champion. There's a couple contenders in front of you now. I mean, win or lose here, there's going to be some people that get to go before you. So what's motivating you right now? What are you using as your drive every day to focus and get better?
Well, I kind of just like to describe it like what feeds a fighter's soul is victory. So imagine like a tiger or a cougar or something like that expending so much energy to catch their prey, and then it doesn't happen. You get more hungry, and you just got to go for it and give it all you got. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm really hungry, and I want this win, and I'm willing to do anything to get it. So that's where I'm at.
That's awesome.
She just referred to herself as a cougar?
She did.
I think she did.
That's awesome. And lastly, for Brad, it's been kind of a long road to get here to a featured fight like this. How do you feel? I mean, is this like a special moment for you? Do you feel like this is maybe your moment to kind of break out and not be the kind of under the radar guy any longer?
Definitely. As far as the fight goes, I feel like this is same as all the other rest, the biggest fight of my career. But as far as the stage it's on, definitely the biggest stage that I've been on so far. So I just want to go out there, put on a good show, put on an exciting fight, and come out victorious.
Mike Sonnen with the Fox affiliate here in Orlando. This question is for Dana. You're going to be exposed to a lot of new fans that maybe have not seen your sport before by being on the Fox broadcast. What do you encourage them to look to that you think will attract them to your sport?
Well, there's a couple things. First of all, this is the first time we've ever been to Orlando. And I know there's a lot of fans here who've never been to a live event. And, I know it's a big sports town, but when you go to a UFC event, the energy inside the building, especially in a place that's going to be sold out and packed the way that this is, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. So I know you've seen it on TV. It's great. It's exciting. But live is a whole nother ball game. So there's going to be a lot of people who are going to experience that for the first time here in Orlando. And then on television, when we do free cards, these are the type of fights that we like to put on free cards. I'm telling you right now, anybody here who is an MMA journalist and follows the sport knows this card is awesome. These fights, these matchups are insane, and Saturday night should be absolute insanity, fireworks, great fights, and people who tune in for the first time are going to see action, excitement, and energy. That's why we like to do these. We like to stack these free fight cards for the people who've never seen it before.
This is for, I'm Larry Ridley, a sports director, Wedge TV, NBC here in Orlando. It's for Travis and Fabricio. With the possibility at the shot, at the number one spot, the title, how big of an opportunity is this for both of you guys, possibly? If you can win, you can get that big shot coming up.
Yeah, it's, a chance to fight for the title is kind of what we're all in it for. But I'm not going to sell myself short. This is part of my journey. I expect more of myself than to fight for the title. I look at fighting for the title. I look at taking the title. I look at defending the title. My goal is to leave a legacy in this sport. So this is another fight on my road to my legacy.
Eu estou muito feliz de estar lutando aqui em Orlando, com certeza. Faz tempo que eu não luto e com certeza eu vou poder mostrar mais uma vez por que eu quero lutar aqui e por que eu quero essa chance pelo cinturão. E eu tenho certeza, estou muito confiante de sábado de noite vou poder mostrar para o mundo mais uma vez por que eu estou apto para lutar pelo cinturão.
I'm very happy to fight here in Orlando. It's been a while since I fought. And I'm very happy to have the chance to be able to show that I'm worthy of this title. And I'm very, very happy to be here. And I'm going to do it.
All right, more questions. Fabricio, last time you were here, you mentioned that even though you have a solid background in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you train in it more. Even when you're fighting someone that doesn't have quite as much as you had in Jiu-Jitsu. Why do you train more in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, even though that's already sort of in your pocket? And then my second question is for all the fighters. The Cleveland Clinic and the UFC obviously have partnered to do research on concussions for fighters. One of the outcomes potentially could be that there could be cutbacks in terms of training time. I wanted to get comments from you guys to talk about what that might mean for you if there were cutbacks on the amount of training time, considering that's the most important part of what you guys do.
And you mean a cutback in sparring?
Yes.
Sparring, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Isso sempre acontece com as pessoas, falam que... por que eu treino jiu-jitsu, tanto jiu-jitsu? E eu só digo que é muito importante eu treinar bastante jiu-jitsu pelo fato de a galera pensar que dizem que eu sou bom no jiu-jitsu e falam que eu não preciso treinar mais. Mas é muito importante eu manter o treinamento, quanto mais repetição, treinar forte para poder mostrar dentro do octágono. Não gosto que aconteça isso, depois eu ter aquela responsabilidade, todo mundo dizendo que tu é bom e não poder mostrar lá dentro. Então, por isso eu mantenho o meu treino de jiu-jitsu como todos os treinos, não só jiu-jitsu, mas o Muay Thai e o wrestling também.
People always ask me that, and to me it's so important to, since I'm known for my jiu-jitsu, to train harder and make sure, because for me, it's a responsibility for me to be able to show my jiu-jitsu, which everybody knows me for. So although I train everything else, I want to make sure that I'm on top game in jiu-jitsu.
Did you have a question? Because you had the. Oh, I translated. Okay. Oh, got it. All right. Sorry.
Then also the concussions.
Yeah, for the fighters about training.
Yeah, I think you. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you already start to see a trend of fighters starting to cut back on their sparring. I know I have. You know, I'll save the hard blows for the cage. That way I save my head. I want to be able to raise my kids after this, you know?
I think it's great. I don't know if I'm the only one speaking, but I went and did the Cleveland brain study. You know, I was able to go and get MRI and everything looked at, and I think it's great. You know, you don't know what's going on up there sometimes, so it's good to have someone study it and throughout your career and see if there is a long-lasting effect, because this isn't what I plan on doing my whole life, and I want to talk to my grandchildren and be able to, you know, someday.
We definitely don't know what's going on up there sometimes, that's for sure.
Murder, that's what's going on.
I feel like it's good. You know, fighter safety is always important. It's important to everybody, and you know, a lot of times we don't take the time to think about ourselves. You know, when we're getting in there and then sparring hard, doing all those things, we don't know what we're going to feel like when we're older. But we can only look at the fighters that are. This is a relatively new sport, so even the guys that originally started are just now getting to that point. So I want to make sure that, you know, like I said, you know, I'm able to talk to my grandkids and I have a long, healthy life, and I think that it's good. You know, so we need to make sure that our brains are protected. Say it's our most important organ.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Question for you, Dana. Is the winner of the main event already buying a ticket to fight in Mexico, or is there any detail have to work out with that?
Is the winner fighting in Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against Cain Velasquez, he's here
Yeah.
at this fight.
Yeah, as long as Cain's recovery is you know, on course, yes, then the fight will be in Mexico.
Thank you.
Probably going to get in trouble for announcing that and saying that.
Hey, it's Jay Reddick with the Orlando Sentinel. Travis, how are you? Have you prepared for this main event differently than you have for main events in the past? And how does it feel to be in the last fight on the card?
I prepared the same way for this fight that I have in my past fights, except I've been adding some rounds to my daily training. You know, it's an honor to be bestowed with the responsibility of having the main event. You know, having your face up on the billboards and on the posters, and you know, having a company like the UFC behind you and pushing you out there. I'm lucky to have a style that's very crowd pleasing, and you know, I think that's a big factor in me main eventing future headlines as well.
For all the fighters, I'm curious if you have any previous experience here in Orlando. If not, can you talk about what your impressions are of the city so far, what you've seen?
I've never been here before, and this is my second trip down to Florida now. I came once before to Hollywood, Florida. Both times I came, I thought it was going to be really sunny, you know, like real tropical weather, and the last time I came, it was freezing cold, and this time it's really overcast. But, you know, the city, as far as where we're staying, looks really nice. People I've come across seem really friendly, so I like it.
And I myself, I've spent a decent amount of time in Florida because I have my grandparents in Sarasota and aunt there. On my dad's side of the family basically is Sarasota, where else? Gainesville, and I have a brother in Pensacola. So, you know, I spent a fair amount of time here. I'm definitely used to the muggy weather, and yeah, I mean, I think Orlando is a beautiful city. I've been to Disney World and experienced all the fun things that there is to do. And since I've been here this trip, obviously just been focused on the fight. But after the fight, I definitely plan on enjoying a little bit of the city.
Joel, la pregunta es si a todos los peleadores, si tú has estado en Orlando antes y cuál es tu experiencia con Orlando.
Bueno, nunca he estado aquí en Orlando, pero
por lo que he podido observar, sería de gran satisfacción esta cartelera que UFC está ofreciéndole a los fans de MMA Marcial. Creo que sería de gran motivación para la afición de aquí de Orlando.
I had never been to Orlando. It seems like such a great city, being from Miami, but also I'm glad that the UFC brought this card here because it's a great thing for the fans.
Fala que eu já estive aqui várias vezes em Orlando e sem dúvida nenhuma é um dos lugares que eu mais gosto do mundo, tá aqui nos parques, eu adoro isso. Então é um prazer poder trabalhar aqui também.
I've been here many times. I really like the parks. I'm a really fan of the parks, and really happy to be here to come to work now.
Eu já vim, é a quinta vez que eu venho para Orlando. Eu lutei 3 Pan-Americanos de Jiu-Jitsu aqui. As 3 vezes, primeiras vezes que eu vim. Na quarta vez, eu não gostei muito pelo fato de eu vir fazer a promoção com o Travis Brown. Então, eu fiquei 2 dias com ele. Não foi uma boa experiência estar junto com ele 2 dias. E a quinta vez é essa. Eu gosto muito de Orlando e com certeza a galera vai gostar do grande show que a gente vai passar sábado que vem.
I've been here to Orlando 5 times now. The 3 first were competing in the Pan Ams in Jiu-Jitsu. The 4th time I didn't like it very much because I was promoting the fight with Travis and I had to spend the 2 days with Travis and it felt kind of odd. And hopefully now it's going to be really good.
I thought we got a little close on that trip there, Verdun. I thought we became friends. We were shaking hands. Now you turn on me in front of the media like that? I don't think I can appreciate that now. I think I want to fight you now. Come Saturday night, you're going to get into a fight. I hope you're under the willow tree by the white picket fence because I'll meet you there in the schoolyard.
Yes, this question is for both Misha and Liz. Ultimately, it's the goal to fight for the title. Both of you is coming off of losses. Is the motivation more now to fight for the title or rematch, or for Misha, 3rd time with Ronda Rousey?
Honestly, I'm just grateful to be here. And whatever opportunities they throw at me, whatever offer they give me, I'm ready to take it. If that's a title for whomever's holding it, great. If it's a rematch with Ronda, awesome. Whatever it is, I'm just happy to be here.
And for me, I'm not focused on Ronda or the title at the moment. You know, I think I have a big challenge on Saturday, and that's it. That's where my eyes are set. But I do believe that with a win, that would be a step in the right direction. But, you know, I'm not anticipating to get like an immediate rematch or anything. I think I need to show the fans and everybody, you know, what I'm capable of and what I could have and should have done in the fights that I didn't win. So that's my goal. That's my main objective, is just to go out there and win Saturday, and then we'll go from there.
This is for Joel. Ha estado en tanto combate en el pasado. ¿Cómo se compara esta cartelera con lo que han tenido anterior?
Tú has estado en tantas batallas antes. ¿Cómo comparación esta batalla hoy con la que tú estabas en UFC?
You know the Spanish is bad when when the translator has to translate it in Spanish to him, and Would you tell us what he said?
Yeah, the question was, you've been in some battles in the UFC. How does this compare to some of the other battles you've been in before?
Creo que esto es una de las grandes carteleras que ha tenido el UFC y todo depende de lo que pase el sábado. Se podría comparar con con las batallas pasadas, ¿no? Y creo que todos los que estamos aquí presentes se han preparado siempre bien, como una gran batalla, como lo que es. Y el guerrero y su caballo se preparan para la batalla, pero es igual de los ejércitos que a la victoria.
The warrior and the horses get ready for battle, but you don't know until the day of the battle how it's going to turn out. So in comparison to the prior battles he had, we have to wait and see until Saturday.
A question for Brad over here, straight ahead. Oh, stand up. So you won 5 in a row. You win this fight. It's 6 in a row. That put you right behind Chris Weidman, the champion. But all those fights have gone the distance. You know how it goes in MMA. Flashy wins get you more attention. Is a win not enough on Saturday for you?
First, I'd like you to ask me that question in Pidgin. Nah.
Easy.
First and foremost, the win is the most important. And I'd love to go out there and finish Yo, but I don't think, it's an easy task to do. So I'm glad with a win, but hey, if I can finish him, submit him, knock him out, then, that I'll be happy. But my main objective is getting that win, getting one step closer to the top and to the title.
And I know you said you were a little, for lack of a better word, surprised or disappointed when you found out he was your opponent. How did you feel when you found out, at least, that you were on the main card above a very important lightweight fight in Dos Anjos and Nurmagomedov?
Yeah, like I said, nothing against Yo. He's a very tough opponent, but I was hoping to get somebody already in the top 10, a little bigger name, a little more well-known in the UFC. But once I signed on that dotted line, it's all about Yo, and I'm focused on him. But when I got the news that I'd be on the main card, I was excited. This is a huge opportunity for me. Millions upon millions of people tune into this show. Fox, it's in every household, so it's a huge opportunity.
And then one for Yoel over here. You're about to be 38. You've been doing combat sports for many, many years. You've overcome neck surgery. Honestly, are you surprised to be here with an opportunity like this, doing so well in the UFC? Did you envision this after everything you've been through?
Tú has cumplido 38 años. Has tenido
37.
37. Has tenido cirugía de cuello y has estado en combate, deporte de combate por mucho tiempo. ¿Tú pensabas que iba a estar en este momento aquí donde tú estás? ¿Y qué tú crees de eso?
Todo en la vida es dedicación, todo en la vida es ímpetu y amor. Y también tiene que estar en las manos de Dios. Y yo me he puesto en las manos de Dios. Por eso estoy aquí.
Everything in life is about dedication, effort, and putting your life in the hands of God. And I've done that, and that's why I'm here today.
Question from Sir Ronnie. I would like to know if you could talk about this fight and how do you see Edson Barboza as a fighter?
Edson, has definitely earned his way here. He's a stand-up guy. I really don't watch much tape, don't know what he has to offer, but come Saturday, he's good to see what I get to offer, It's definitely going to be a stand-up war. I plan on not backing down and standing in the middle and going to hell, so hope he's coming with me.
And question for Verdun, I'm going to ask in Portuguese, sorry. Verdun, essa é a segunda vez na sua carreira em que você consegue o title shot, né, que você é indicado para lutar contra o campeão, mas que o campeão se machuca e você tem que enfrentar um outro contender. Na primeira vez foi quando você enfrentou o Júnior dos Santos. Você pode falar um pouquinho sobre se isso é um desafio mental para você e assim, como é que você se mantém motivado para enfrentar um contender e não o campeão?
Foi uma decisão bem difícil no começo, né? Eu tive uma reunião com o Fertitta, com o Lorenzo e com o Dana, e a gente decidiu no começo pelo fato de eu não sabia que eu não sabia que o Velasquez ia ficar tanto tempo sem lutar. Se eu soubesse, com certeza eu tinha lutado antes, né? Mas a gente estava esperando realmente, né, essa grande oportunidade da minha vida, e aí aconteceu da cirurgia, né? Uma cirurgia com certeza antiga, mas ele resolveu fazer a cirurgia. E eu conversei com o Dana e ele falou: "Tu vai ficar muito tempo sem lutar, então acho que não vale a pena, né? Ficar quase 2 anos sem lutar", e eu acho também que 2 anos sem lutar é muito tempo. Eu gostaria de fazer 3 lutas ao ano, e a gente decidiu, ele me ofereceu o Ravensbrück, eu falei: tudo bem, não tem problema nenhum. Foi uma decisão difícil no começo, porque imagina, né, lutar pelo título, depois fazer mais uma, mas eu penso que a motivação é mais ainda porque eu treino todos os dias, faço muito sparring, então eu estou sempre motivado, na verdade. Eu nunca paro de treinar. Então, a decisão foi bem difícil, só que eu vou poder mostrar mais uma vez por que eu tenho eu quero e eu posso lutar pelo título do UFC.
The question was, this is the second time in Verdun's career that he was supposed to go for a title fight and it didn't happen, and how he could keep himself motivated after that. And the answer is that he sat down and spoke with Lorenzo and Dana, and Dana said, "Listen, you're going to be a while without fighting when Cain got hurt, and he wants to fight at least 3 times a year." And so it was a little bit hard in the beginning, but then he realized that he has to keep on fighting, and he's always motivated, he's always training hard, and so he took the fight.
Hi, Jay Adams, Sportsnet New York. This question's for Liz Caramouche. Liz, it occurs to me that you're the perfect person to handicap Ronda and Alexis. Can you tell us, when you fought both of them, who you feel is stronger, who has better ground game, better stand-up, and who's going to win the fight? Handicap it for us.
With Ronda, I didn't really have an opportunity to really test her stand-up. It went to the ground so quick that that's really where I got the experience. And with Alexis, it was a mostly stand-up fight. So again, didn't really have a great opportunity to test what her ground game was like. It could really go either way. I think that Ronda is doing a really good job of what she's at. She's a champion for a reason. But of course, I want to see, after losing to Alexis, I want to see her come off with a win. But honestly, whoever goes into that fight, I know it's just going to be a good one.
And is it frustrating at all to come so close with both fighters? You had the neck crank on Ronda. You had a good fight with Alexis. What goes through your mind when you're watching them go for that belt that you want so badly?
Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but what that does is just cause me to be that much more motivated in practice and to work that much harder and to hunger that much more for a win in this fight and to make sure that I pull the trigger as soon as I see an opportunity and I'm relentless and I don't let up.
All right, who wins the fight?
Against who?
Ronda and Alexis.
I'm gonna play Switzerland here.
Oh, man. All right.
You're persistent, SOB, aren't you?
I'm going to ask Edson in Portuguese. Edson, essa é uma luta muito importante para a sua carreira. Você ficou muito feliz, eu lembro, quando você soube que ia lutar contra o Cerrone. Eu queria que você falasse um pouco sobre esse estilo de vocês, que é bem parecido. O que vai fazer a diferença e uma vitória? Onde te coloca na categoria?
Edson, I know that you were very happy when the opportunity to face Cerrone came up. I'd like to know how you see this fight happening as you are a stand-up guy like he is. What your thoughts are on it?
Como você falou, fiquei muito feliz pela oportunidade, porque eu tô aqui para lutar com os melhores, cara, e ele tá entre os melhores. Então essa oportunidade é ótima para mim. Eu tô preparado para isso. E a luta é um mistério, né, cara? Eu acho que eu tô mais ansioso do que todo mundo para saber o que vai acontecer nessa luta aí.
Yeah, I was really very happy for this opportunity. I want to fight the best. That's why I'm here. That's why I prepare myself. And the fight's a mystery. And I would like to answer that question like everybody else. So I don't know.
For Fabricio, estás usando la playa de UFC Network. Has hecho una carrera ya como comentarista para UFC. ¿Sientes más presión? ¿Hay un poco más de presión por esta pelea al ser una de las figuras públicas del UFC en América Latina?
No, la presión yo creo que está cuando no entrenas, cuando no estás entrenado, cuando tienes una lesión, lo que sea. Pero de verdad que no siento ninguna presión porque entrené muchísimo para esa pelea y de verdad que estoy bastante confiado, estoy confiante para el sábado por la noche y ofrecer un gran espectáculo para todos.
¿Y estás emocionado que después de tanto tiempo sin pelear y tantos arranques falsos en esta pelea de campeonato ya haya llegado la oportunidad de una pelea más y por fin tendrás la oportunidad al título?
Sí, estoy bastante emocionado, claro que sí, hacer una pelea principal de la noche, ¿no? Entonces, imagínate, después de tanto tiempo sin pelear y hacer una pelea principal y estar, como tú has dicho, ¿no? Estaba haciendo las transmisiones de UFC Network y estoy bastante contento porque yo sé que tengo muchos seguidores en América Latina y yo estoy seguro que todos van a estar conmigo esta noche del sábado porque he recibido muchos mensajes y de verdad que emocionado, claro que estoy por estar peleando una vez más y hacer lo que me gusta.
And quickly for you, Dana, you talked about the numbers that the UFC 171 did in Mexico. I think it was 4.3 million in audience, yeah?
Yeah.
And are you watching this show closely? I mean, this is the show that gets the ball rolling for Mexico. You're getting the contender. You're about to start the season of The Ultimate Fighter. Are you watching closely the audience numbers for this fight in Mexico and Latin America after what UFC 171 did?
Yeah. No, we're all over it. Yeah, it's been great. It's been very successful, and obviously I'm excited about starting to film this season of The Ultimate Fighter for Mexico. We're doing the women's 115-pounders, and then back-to-back going right into Mexico. So, yeah.
And how amazed were you that you had 4.3 million viewers for UFC 171 in Mexico?
Right. What about it?
How amazed were you that was the number in Mexico?
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, we were very surprised for, Hendricks versus Lawler to do that well in Mexico. Imagine what Kane will do, or any other, Mexican fighter that's on the card. So very, very promising.
Tienes que hacer cabrón, hacer la traducción tú mismo.
No, nada más dijo que estaba muy emocionado por el número que dio.
I was going to decirle la pregunta.
What Fabricio said, that he is very excited after having a career as a commentator in the UFC network and being a public face for the UFC in Latin America. He feels no pressure. This is just training. The guys that feel pressure are the guys that do not train. They are just, not taking care of themselves. He has been training for such a long time, and he's excited about having this fight after seeing so many fights in the commentary booth and getting this opportunity to fight Travis and then maybe fight for a title.
Grayson Gregory, the Sports Quick. Dana, I don't know if you heard yesterday, Cerrone said if the money was right, that he'd be able to kick Floyd's ass in a stand-up match. Just wondering who you'd have in that between Money May and Cowboy.
It's crazy how all my guys want to fight these other guys. And it's like, it's crazy, man. It's, yeah. No, he won't be fighting Floyd anytime soon. The money won't be right. And it's no.
Gareth Davis, Daily Telegraph, BT Sport, over here, Dana. Funny shorts on. A question, first of all, for Travis. Travis, last year you were wearing a T-shirt at the end of last year saying no excuses. I think we're living it, I think you're wearing right now. You had an exceptional year in 2013. You were knocking out opponents left, right, and centre. Are you looking to finish this guy on Saturday night, or is it just the W that gets you into the right position?
I'm not a fighter that fights to not lose. I'm a fighter that fights to win, and there's a big difference. I'm coming out to finish all my opponents. In most of my fights, the judges just need to sit back and relax. Same thing with the ref. I'm coming out there to finish a fight, coming out there to knock them out, and I won't accept anything less.
So you're pledging this guy is going to be knocked out on Saturday night then?
Definitely. Those are some nice hot pants you got there too.
I had to slum it to get here. I tried to get a lift on the private jet, but it wasn't happening.
Yeah, you look like you're ready for Florida there, big guy.
Yeah, you got to get in line to get on that jet, buddy. I'm waiting my ticket too.
And on the other hand, to Fabricio, in a sense, you've had to be very patient as well, because you may have fought Kane already, but because of the injury, you've got to go into another semi-final now. ¿Te has sentado un poco frustrado que tendrías que esperar que Kane está bueno otra vez? En esta manera, tienes otro semifinal contra Travis.
Yeah. Translator, please. We did it again. He was trying to speak French last night in Quebec, too.
Não entendi muito bem o espanhol dele.
Translator doesn't know what the hell he said either.
All language.
¿Me entiendes, no?
Más o menos, no te escuché muy bien. Otra vez.
Sí. What I'm saying is si te sientes un poco frustrado que no habías peleado ya contra Kane.
No, creí que no, de verdad que al principio, como te dije, me quedé un poquito, claro, haciendo una decisión muy difícil al principio, ¿no? Y claro, imagínate, vas a pelear por el cinturón y de repente te digan que no vas a pelear más ya. Entonces, bastante difícil, claro que sí, la decisión. Tuve que hablar con mi profesor, Rafael Cordero, con Cobrinha, con todo mi equipo para poder decidir esto, ¿no? Entonces hemos decidido que era importante enseñar una vez más por qué voy a pelear por el cinturón, ¿no? Porque imagínate 2 años parados sin pelear y después ya la gente iba a preguntarse ¿por qué Fabricio va a pelear por el cinturón si hace 2 años que no pelea, ¿no? Que solo está en la tele como las transmisiones de UFC Network, solo está ahí, ¿por qué va a pelear? Entonces creo que ha sido una buena decisión y voy a poder enseñar una vez más por qué estoy ahí para pelear por el cinturón, eso que quiero.
The question was if you felt a little frustrated that you had to wait around for Kane and couldn't fight with him at the time. And his response was that he knew that he didn't want to be waiting around for too long, and he thought about it with his team. And the fact that having to wait for 2 years and not be fighting at all, people would be asking when he fights, why was he in that title belt at all? So he felt this was the best decision to fight at this time and not wait around for Kane.
I agree.
Final question for Dana White. Here we are in Shaq's private hoops pad. What is it like when you've got this amazing array of fighters, and it is an incredible card, isn't it? What does it feel like to be, you know, you've got these Game of Thrones moments where you come into a new territory, because this is a new territory. You've got this great press conference here in a very unusual setting. Are these the things that get you up in the morning, Dana?
No, I mean, for me, it always has been and it always will be the fights. And like I said, like you just said too, the people that are up on everybody on this dais right now are finishers. These guys are all finishers. And it's just, I'm really happy. I'm excited for this card on Saturday. This is going to be a fun card.
First for Dana. Busy week at the Amway here this week. Were there any problems? I know they had to obviously move the press conference here because of the solar bears and different things. Were there any issues that you had with them, or just in general, how did you think of the venue just when you first time you saw it and throughout the week here?
Oh, none that I'm aware of. I haven't heard anything negative. I thought we just wanted to do this at Shaq's house. I didn't know there was something else going on. No, it's been good. Everything's been great here so far.
And just quick for Travis as well, on a lighter note, I know you have a basketball background. You're a big fan of basketball. Were you hoping to maybe see Shaq get a little bit one-on-one action or something here today?
I'm ready. I'll lace him up. Yeah, I mean, it'd be
Sunday.
great.
Sunday. You can do it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll play horse. I'm ready.
Question for Dana. A lot of people have been criticizing the heavyweight division, saying that today there's not too mmany contenders besides Verdun and Brown. I want to know your opinion about that.
I think they're full of shit. I think that people are always talking, you know, there's none of this and there's none of that, and there's always a contender. There's always a contender. I mean, realistically, I was just talking about this the other day. You know, Travis Brown was a good heavyweight. You know, he's a good heavyweight. This guy has exploded in the last year. And I was watching tons of video that's coming back on him from, you know, we just did, you know, the Road to the Octagon show. And, you know, there's only so much time and so much footage and so many interviews that you can show on one guy. You know, this guy is a completely different fighter and a completely different person than he was before the Alistair Overeem knockout. It's scary what a different person this guy is. And that's what happens. I mean, the guys who are real fighters and women that are real fighters and start to rise to the top and get to that level become completely different people than they were a year ago. They keep getting better and better and meaner and nastier. And that's exactly what's happened to this guy. There's always going to be contenders. There's tons of people coming up, and it's not true. It's fun to talk about, but not true.
I have a question up front here for Donald.
You're next.
I have a question for Donald. Do you think a win here, Cowboy, will help you get back up to getting a title shot? Do you want that lightweight title shot?
Yeah, absolutely. The lightweight title, I mean, that's the overall goal, but I hope a win over here on Saturday gets me on one of these cards in July or June is what I'm looking for, 6 to 8 this year. So more importantly, let's get those wins lined up. Yeah.
And then I have a question for both for Werdum and Barbosa. There's a big Brazilian population here in Orlando. Have you guys noticed that in your short time here in Orlando? And obviously you guys said how you have been here before. Do you guys embrace the large Brazilian population here?
Eu sei que tem muito brasileiro aqui, mas não só brasileiro, mas acho que a América Latina também tem muito gente da América Latina, então acho que a torcida vai estar bastante forte e isso faz uma grande diferença porque motiva o atleta.
Yeah, not only Brazilians, but there's a lot of Latin Americans here, and I think that that's going to be very important because I kind of represent them too, and they're going to embrace me and the sport.
Sem dúvida, eu tenho certeza que vai ter bastante brasileiro aqui e principalmente bastante amigo meu, que na verdade eu moro aqui, eu moro em Palm Beach, então muita gente vai vir para cá assistir, isso me motiva mais e me deixa mais feliz de poder estar lutando perto dos meus amigos, perto da galera brasileira.
Yes, not only a lot of Brazilians, but a lot of friends of mine since I live right near here in West Palm Beach, and that really motivates me to be able to fight in front of all of them.
Two more questions, all right.
Brian Dickerman, WJRR Orlando, Clear Channel Radio. My question is for Travis. Travis, there's so much more to being a fighter than getting the big wins and all the training. I've noticed, even here today in the interviews leading up to this fight, you've really started to show your personality. Was that something you really thought about, getting the spotlight here? You've got this big fight, you're on Fox, you got the spotlight right on you, and you seem to have taken the ball and really run with it. Was that something you thought about here and just not giving, one or two word answers and say, watch me in the ring? Or are you just a funny guy? What's the deal?
I'm a pretty funny guy. At times, I have spurts of brilliance here and there, but no, it's funny. I was just telling Dana that, if you've been a fan of me since 2010 when I signed with the UFC, or if you've known me since then, you've really seen a boy grow into a man inside the cage. I have a different mentality about myself in this sport. I have a different work ethic now in this sport, and it's really helped me transition it to my life in general. And it's helped me outside the cage too. This sport really, if you don't keep yourself accountable, this sport will catch up to you real quick. So you have to go out there and you have to seek that knowledge and seek that hard training. Basically, you're seeking an ass whooping. And so if you're not catching that on a daily basis in this industry, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. If you're not questioning yourself during your camp, whether or not you want to do this for a living or not, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. And that's what this sport has helped me do. That's what the UFC has helped me do. And really, it's helped expose my true personality. At times I can be hilarious, and at other times I can talk about morals and values. And it's something that has helped through the accountability that the UFC has held me to.
Yes, sir.
Dana, it was mentioned earlier the order of the fights on the main card, and that line between the number 4 and number 5 fights on the card. Can you talk about how that decision is made, what the aspects are, and how many people are involved in that decision?
Yeah, it's usually me and Silva. You always want to start the card off, especially when you're on free TV and on pay-per-view too. But you want what you think is going to be a real exciting fight. Obviously, usually Cerrone is always first on the card. We bumped him up on this one, him and Barboza. Every fight on here. This is one of those cards that's a tough one. This is a tough card where you're deciding who's going to go where. Because, like I said, everybody sitting on this dais right now is a finisher and a fun fight. So it's tough, and there's a lot of bitching after we do it, about where somebody should be. But there's really, whether it's a pay-per-view or a night like tonight, there's 2 main events. You have the main event of the prelims, and then you have the main event of the either pay-per-view or Fox card. So both of those are built the same way. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying?
This one's for Misha. Misha, you're used to winning. Your record has got streaks of 5 wins and 6 wins in a row. This is your first back-to-back loss. It's uncharted territory for you. What's going on in your mind as you go into this fight with that as a backdrop?
I think it just makes me more dangerous because, I'm willing to put everything out there, win or lose, and my last 4 fights have been fight of the night, and that's because I go out there and I fight with my heart on my sleeve. And, I'm not going to do anything different in that aspect Saturday, but I'm more motivated than I've ever been because it sucks losing 2 fights in a row. It sucks losing 1 fight, much less 2, and I'll be damned if I lose 3 in a row.
I'll give you the same follow-up that I gave to Liz. Handicap the Davis-Rousey fight. Who wins that fight?
Man, I hate making fight picks, but you know what? As much as I hate to say it too, I would probably still give the edge to Ronda. You know what I mean? I think that she's so explosive, and I think that's been a huge difference for her in the fight. And she's very high level in what she does, but and her striking's definitely coming along. But Alexis is no joke. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so that's something that Ronda's never had to deal with. So who's to say if she's even going to be able to get the armbar? And that's always the question. Then what? And I think Alexis is going to have an answer for her in that department, and I think it's going to push them into deep waters and be a very, very interesting fight.
Okay, two
Two quick questions. What do you guys do in the last 2 nights before your big fight? What kind of preparation do you guys do tonight and tomorrow headed into Saturday? And then also my second question is, seems like you guys all get along very well, great personalities. Does it help at all if there's any bad blood going into a fight? Does it give you like a little bit of an edge going into it?
I'm not getting along with Verdum anymore because he said he didn't enjoy our trip. It's hard to believe, though. We were kissing hands and shaking babies. It was a good time. I don't understand. We're just on I feel like I just got broken up with on national TV. I feel like I dumped a girlfriend or something. But I'm sorry, what was your first question? I got too caught up in my brilliance right there.
Does it help to hate? Does it help to hate your opponent?
Sorry, the first one was, what do you guys do tonight, tomorrow, headed into Saturday to prepare?
I just PBE. I just play it by ear. Everybody around me might get a little frustrated because I'll 1 minute I'll be like, hey guys, I'm a little hungry, and then on the way down to dinner I'm like, I'm gonna go take a 10-minute nap, so you guys, I'll just meet up with you later. And then I'm like, why didn't you guys wait for me to eat? You know what I mean? I'm all mixed emotions.
Yeah, it must be nice to be a heavyweight. I'm gonna be.
It is.
I'm gonna be in a nice date
nice.
with the sauna all night long. Yeah.
My coaches gain about 10 pounds. They're well rested when they go home.
See, my coaches lose about 10 pounds, so they're gonna be in the sauna with me all night.
I'm all right. I'm gonna go take a nap.
I guess I'll go next. As for me, I water load, so essentially I'm still drinking a lot of water. I don't have to cut too much weight. Try to keep my weight always within reason. Always guarantee I'm going to make weight. And then, I flush my system. I cut a little bit of weight tonight, but where I'm still comfortable and I can actually get a good night's rest. Wake up early tomorrow, check my weight, and, usually float about 1 pound in the night and wake up and go cut more. No more food for me today and no more food for me tomorrow, but after weigh-ins, then it'll be game on.
Did I see sandwiches out there? I think I saw sandwiches. I think I might grab a couple on the way out. That's even better.
I think I'm fortunate. I sit so close to my weight. Like I've discussed before, I'm probably meant to be a 125er, but I'll compete wherever the division is, and it's 135 right now. So for me, I just float and I wake up and it's like, oh yay, I'm on weight. I guess I'll keep eating until weigh-ins because I can do that. And I'm usually just relaxing, having a whole bunch of jokes with everybody, playing video games, making them play video games, in particular the dance ones. And if you've ever seen my coach, Manny, watching him do the dance games is awesome. So that's really for me. It's making them be my entertainment and me just relaxing until weigh-ins.
La pregunta, Joel, es, primera pregunta, ¿qué tú haces 2 días de preparación, los días antes de la pelea? Y la segunda pregunta fue si ayuda a tener rancor o odio a tu oponente ante la pelea.
Bueno, los 2 días antes de la pelea, cortar un poco de peso, aguantarse la comida, el líquido un poco para hacer bien el peso. Y creo que lo del odio y el rencor, eso está de más que decir, eso no ayuda a nada a las personas. Esto es un deporte netamente fraternal, deportivo. Después de la pelea la vida sigue igual y que los lazos amistosos sigan creciendo en las personas. Creo que el deporte no tiene nada que ver con el rencor y el odio.
The answer to the second question, whether it helps to hate your opponent, this is a sport. There's no element of hate or in trying to get into the fight. Your battle is as sporting agents, and after the event, life moves on, and you keep your friendships that you have and the enemies you don't have. It's just not worth it, and it doesn't really need to be done in the battle. As for the first question, what he does is basically try to cut weight, keep the liquids down, and rest right before.
Para mim, mesma coisa, tirar o peso, fico focado para tirar o peso, não comer e realmente ficar assistindo bastante canal de comida. Isso me deixa bem, não com raiva, mas bem lembrar que eu tô aqui para realmente para uma guerra, com fome, com sede, cansado, porque está tirando peso e sem dúvida nenhuma eu adoro essa parte porque realmente me prepara para uma guerra.
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat. I start losing my weight, and what I do is I watch a lot of food channels, because that makes me remember why I'm here, that I'm here for war, and it makes me get more concentrated, more motivated.
All right, let's take one more question. Does anybody have one more question? The guy with not very good Spanish back there.
That would be me. We're always excited in South Florida when our guys get their shot in the UFC. I think we just, Patrick Williams just went ahead and got signed. How are you rating the South Florida talent pool when they're coming into the UFC, and how do you rate them in all in general?
How do I rate it?
Rate them as fighters and staying around.
Florida's been a hot spot for a long time, obviously. Dan Lambert's camp has been down here since before we even owned the UFC. And he was a guy potentially to buy the UFC at that time. I think this has been a hotbed for a long time. There's a lot of great talent that comes out of here. From the early days when we first started with Dean Thomas and many other guys that come from Florida. It's been a great spot, continues to be a great spot. It's not a great spot to sell tickets down in South Florida. But everything else is great about it. Thank you guys so much for taking the trip out here today. We appreciate the support. I know a lot of you talked to me last night, but I'll scrum with you guys if you want to. And we'll see you Saturday. Thank you very much.